Hello, this is Dr. A. We're going to be covering section 4.9 on El Nino and La Nina. The learning objective here is to be able to describe the environmental changes and effects that result from El Nino or La Nina events, also known as INSO. We're going to be able to describe environmental problems. Here, what happens? The global ocean surface currents are known as gyres. They're large circular patterns due to the global wind. There's clockwise in the northern hemisphere and counterclockwise in the southern hemisphere. Why? Because there's an east to west wind, because basically the wind can't keep up with the motion of the earth, and therefore it falls behind. It goes this way. But in the between 30 and 60, they go the opposite direction. And therefore it goes like this. But it pulls here, the gyre goes in this direction, and it goes in this direction. Now there are upwelling zones along the Central America and down by South America. What happens is as it pulls away, there has to be the water has to be replaced. Some of it comes from the bottom of the ocean. It's cold, and it has so much nutrients because it's pulling all the dead organisms up off of it. So it's got tons and tons of nutrients. Very productive fishing area that is affected by El Nino and La Nina. This right here is where there's going this direction. The winds are going east to west. There's also a ocean currents caused by a thermal, temperature, haline, salt imbalance. What happens is this circulation connects all the oceans, mixing salt, nutrients, and temperature throughout. The warm water in the Gulf moves up north because it's pulled by this conveyor belt. As it gets up here, it cools and it evaporates, and when it freezes, it leaves behind all the salt. Therefore, it becomes more dense. When it gets dense, it pulls again the conveyor belt along, and making it sink and go back along the bottom of the ocean until it comes back here and warms up. It comes back up, and upwelling occurs. Now, the El Nino, what's happening there is the INSO is a pattern of shifting atmospheric pressure ocean currents in the Pacific Ocean between South America and Australia. You can see here we've got El Nino here, La Nina, El Nino, and it shifts back and forth. You don't have two at once because the oceans can't go in two directions. It oscillates, shifts regularly from El Nino to La Nina along in coasts in South America. El Nino is warmer and rainier. La Nina is cooler and drier. So what happens under normal conditions, the trade winds blow equatorial water towards Australia from the east to the west. The cool water upwell is great for fishing because lots and lots of nutrients and therefore lots and lots of zooplankton, phytoplankton. Warm equatorial currents brings heat and precipitation to Australia, the monsoon season. High pressure in eastern Pacific makes it warmer. Low pressure in western draws it this direction. Under El Nino, what happens is it's the opposite. The trade winds weaken, and instead of going west, they go east. The warm current brings heat and precipitation to the Americas, both north and south. There's less upwelling, and therefore the fisheries are not happy because there's no nutrients. It's cooler, drying conditions in Australia and Southeast Asia, no monsoons. In La Nina, it's stronger than normal trade winds, go much, much faster from the east to the west. Therefore, there's increased upwelling in South America, making fishermen very, very happy. It's warmer and rainier. It's happening right now, 2020, 2021. They are having flooding like there's no tomorrow. Cars are washing all over the place. The effects of El Nino. What's happening is a suppressed upwelling and less productive fisheries in South America. Warmer winter in much of North America. increased precipitation and flooding in Americas, especially the West Coast. There's drought in Southeast Asia and Australia, decreased hurricane activity in the Atlantic, and weakened monsoon activity in India and Southeast Asia. La Nina, on the other hand, is stronger upwelling and better fishing in South America, worse tornadoes in U.S., worse hurricane in the Atlantic, cooler and drier weather in the Americas, rainier, warmer, increased monsoons in Southeast Asia. So, can you describe two environmental problems related to the conditions of an El Nino event? Thank you, and I hope this has been helpful.